What is going on, you guys? It's the Gemmy Fan here on Gemmy Master Animatronics. What we have here today to show you is some pretty special things. Not necessarily to me, but to Jordan for sure. What you're looking at here are Jordan's or Joe Bean videos, as most of you know him. 3 out of, I don't know how many he had, 7 Gemmy dancing Desert Dancers Cactuses. Now, funny because the one in the middle, that was shipped to me. That was actually given to me about a year and a half ago, or actually no, maybe about a year ago now. And I fixed that one up just fine. I had a stripped. What happened is that there was a shaft piece that when the hole that the shaft went in. Yeah, I know that sounds weird, but like the little position, the little holder that the shaft actually went in was rounded out, so the gears got out of line, and that just caused it to sit there and just strip itself out. And luckily, I fixed that issue. Now, these other 2 weren't intended to go to me. I ended up purchasing these off of Kevin because Jordan gave Kevin these 2. He gave him the extremely high-pitched one and the medium-pitched one with really screwed up gears or whatever it was. And all 3 of these are now fixed. The high-pitched one was, from what Jordan told me, was almost hopeless, but the thing is, there was only one gear in there that was missing a couple teeth, and I actually had the exact same gear somehow stored in a parts bin. Found it, placed it in there, and it worked flawlessly. It's probably one of the best working ones I've had. The one in the middle was my first one, like I said, and you know what's really stupid of me is that even after the first review, I forgot to put the second layer of cloth to protect the stuffing from getting caught in the mechanism over it. So as a result of that, about a month later when I was just testing it for the heck of it when I got these 2, the stuffing had got wrapped up in the spinning knob and the lever piece, so I had to take it all apart, redo it again, and here it sits and it works just fine. And as you can see, they're not halfway up their mechanisms. The zip ties are back into place in all 3 of these, so I'm very happy about that. So as you can see, that one works just fine. That is the high-pitched version, and apparently one of the last ones that Jordan ever got. He said that him and his grandma or whatever went to KB Toys. I don't know when this was, 2000, 2001. I have no clue. And he was going around asking where the cactuses were, and they actually had one left in the back, and that was pretty cool. But this one has a story behind it. But it's funny because this one just has one of those miniature speakers, and both of these have coin speakers. So my biggest guess is that this is actually a later model, which would explain a lot because he said this is the last one he ever got. Now, I know that there are 2 or 3 more in his collection that do exist and that need some work, and I'll get to fixing those eventually, and that'd be cool to have these. But having these 3 all restored is something on their own. But as you can see, this one works flawlessly. Got that one all fixed up. This one was messed up pretty badly. This one had the same problem as my first one did, was where the shaft piece got out of line and it didn't make contact with any of the other gears, and all that had to be cleaned out and redone and put back together properly. And yeah, this one works now, and of course this one works. We'll go ahead and show this one. This is the one I did the restoration video on. Let's just let this one play again. We'll play this one more time, then we'll shut it off. Like I said, one of the best working ones I've had. Now here's the middle one. The problem with these cactuses is that the motors that are in there stress those gears too much, and another problem is that the fabric, how it's harnessed so tight to the base, so as you can see when it goes up, it starts to get slow, and that puts a ton of pressure on those gears, which will end up leading to them stripping. So it was an overall a little bit of a crappy and inexperienced design, but this was in their early years. These were made in 2000, so this was definitely an earlier period of time for their animatronics, so it's understandable. But the fact that they've lasted this long on their own is amazing, and they're still able to be fixed again. Now we will try this one. This one works very nicely as well. One thing I forgot to mention about this one is that not only were the gears messed up, but also had to replace the speaker because it was all muffled and quiet. And there you have it for all three of these Gemmy animated 2000, I guess they were made in 2000, Desert Dancers Cactuses, or Cacti, as most of you would probably like to call it. Play them all at the same time.